Well, with dating apps making love just a swipe away, you'd think relationships would be thriving, but it turns out Australia is facing something of a relationship recession. Let's break it down. Just 20% of young Aussies are in relationships, and there's been a staggering 300% increase in people living solo. How about that?
Interesting, isn't it? So is love really fading, or do young Aussies, or are young Aussies just finding a new approach to the way they're going to live their lives? Well, relationship counsellor Melissa Ferrari joins us now with more. Melissa, welcome. Good morning. This is really interesting, these findings, aren't they? Why do you think more and more Aussies are choosing to ditch love and live alone?
I think we're living in a world now where being in relationship is not the gold standard of I have found the one. Nowadays, we don't just measure success on being in a relationship. There's so many other things to measure success on. And I think also we're also understanding, you know, while being in love is lovely, it takes a lot of energy. You've got to operate in a two-person system. You can't just be thinking of what you want. And we're living in a world where people are more wanting what they want, and so maybe choosing not to be in a relationship.
All right, and when it comes to tying them up, more marriages are hitting the wall within the first 10 years, which means that more older Aussies are kind of re-entering the single scene. How do they navigate all of that?
Well, I think build your confidence. Have confidence, you know, that you can get out there and do this. And you have to do that in ways, you know, for some people it might be finding a therapist. You know, you need to know yourself, know what your attachment style is. Are you a little bit more anxious, or are you a little bit more avoidant, right? You need to know your style because to be aware of what you're going to attract as well. And you really need to be clear on what you want. Right? You can't be kind of waver of, I'm just looking for a part-time boyfriend or girlfriend. Oh, well, actually, I want to get married. You know what I mean? You really have to be clear on what you're focusing on to attract that right person.
So you have to do the work on yourself
You have
first.
to do the work.
It seems a lot of people are becoming more cautious when it comes to finding love or the one, and that's probably in many ways a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it is maybe holding someone back, how can someone overcome those hesitations?
Well, just, you know, being aware, we are programmed to pair bond. We do like to be with another, you know, and so we are naturally, many people will say, I'll never go and find somebody else, I'm going to stay on my own. And then a year later, it's like, oh, maybe I'll get on the apps, maybe I'll try and find somebody. So you have to be able to process what has happened. What's happened in your relationship? What was your part in it? What do you need to work on? I think you need to also be able to take your time as well, and joining experiences where you're actually meeting people, you know, getting off the apps a little bit more and being amongst, you know, meetups and things like that, where you're actually eye to eye with someone. Eye to eye is how we fall in love. And so we've changed it all with the dating apps, and so it's actually confusing us and how the brain works in naturally falling in love. And so we're kind of messing with things a little bit with the dating apps nowadays.
Yeah, we're picking up on that. The dating apps, they're meant to make love, or finding love, easier, but for many people it's online dating's alienating and it's difficult. For those who want to find their match a different way, what would you recommend?
Well, just you know, get off the apps. Watch out for that barista that's cooking, that's making your coffee, and you might.
Oh, the handsome barista.
The handsome barista.
You were talking about him the other day.
His name's Peter. He makes me a coffee every Saturday morning.
There you go, lovely Peter. Yeah. So you know, if you're looking down at your phone because you're on the apps and you're missing that someone's actually attracted to you, you're missing those opportunities. So ask friends and family for assistance. Say to your family and friends, I'm really wanting to find somebody. Can you help me? You know, and go to events related to your hobbies, whether it, you know, wine tasting, dancing, whatever you like. You know, going back to old-fashioned ways in how the brain was programmed to fall in love originally is a great idea, because the apps are really starting to confuse things. They tend to give people that hormone hit as well, being on the apps, and some people never get off them.
Yeah, go old school, says Melissa.
Yeah.
Thank you. We always love chatting.